Peter Pan. Once upon a time in London, there lived a lovely family, Mr. and Mrs. Darling and their 3 children who they loved dearly, Wendy, John and Michael. One day, Mr. and Mrs. Darling had to attend a dinner party.
Wendy, take care of your brothers. Make sure they sleep on time. We'll be back home soon, honey. Take care.
Don't worry, Mother. Have a great time. Bye.
Wendy and her brothers had dinner, and she tucked them into their beds. She then sat down to read a book. Suddenly, she noticed a shadow on the wall. It immediately disappeared into a table drawer.
What was that? A shadow? Strange.
She heard the rumbling of the tree leaves. She looked outside at the trees and saw a boy flying in the sky.
Wow, is that a boy flying? How can this be happening?
Wendy decided the only way to know was to talk to the boy, so she called out to him.
Hello there, who are you?
Me? I'm Peter Pan. Who are you?
I'm Wendy. How can you fly like that? And what are you doing here so late?
Well, I can fly, thanks to the pixie dust of a fairy called Tinkerbell.
Pixie dust? A fairy? Are fairies real?
Of course they are. I've been looking for my shadow. Have you seen it anywhere?
Oh, so that shadow belongs to you. Yes, I've seen it. It's in my room.
Well, it's not sticking back on me, so I'm wondering what to do.
I have an idea. Come on in.
Peter Pan flew into the room and Wendy opened the drawer. Out came the shadow. Wendy ran to get a needle and thread. Peter held the shadow to his shoe while Wendy sewed it to the shoe.
Phew! Thank you, Wendy. Now my shadow isn't going.
Wendy was curious to know more about Peter. As they spoke, Peter told her all about where he came from, the magical place called Neverland, filled with fairies, pirates, and lost children. When Wendy heard this, she knew she wanted to go to Neverland.
Can you take me to Neverland?
Yes, why not?
Can John and Michael come along?
The more the merrier.
Before Peter could say a word, Wendy ran to wake up John and Michael. She told them they were going on a magical trip and brought them to Peter. Peter sprinkled pixie dust on everyone and they flew into the sky to Neverland.
Follow me. We should hide in the hollow trees before the pirates see us.
Wendy, John and Michael followed Peter with their faces filled with wonder.
Time to meet the lost children of Neverland.
Hello everyone, I'm Wendy and they're my brothers, John and Michael.
Are you lost too?
No, Peter brought us here. We live in London.
Do you have parents?
Yes, we do. They're out for dinner right now.
The kids were so excited to see them that they all asked Wendy plenty of questions and she answered them all.
Alright, that's enough. Time for dinner. And what's after dinner?
Bedtime stories.
They love my bedtime stories. I know a lot of them.
Oh, that's nice.
Everyone finished their dinner and it was time for the stories. All the kids tucked themselves in a cozy corner. Peter told them how he fought the pirates and saved the Indian princess Lily. Since then, the pirates saw him as an enemy and Indians became his friends.
I swung my sword and pushed the captain into the sea. A crocodile then found him and bit his hand off. Now he has a hook instead of a hand. That's why he's called
Captain Hook.
That's right.
All the kids fell asleep after the story, but Wendy and Peter went out to walk in the forest.
Peter, was that a real story?
Of course. You'll see for yourself. But before that, I want you to meet someone.
Peter led Wendy to the place where the fairies lived.
Oh my god. Peter, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale.
Well, Wendy, this is Fairyland. And this here is Tinkerbell.
Tinkerbell seemed angry with Wendy and refused to talk to her. So Peter threw some pixie dust and helped Wendy fly again so they could go to a rocky mountain.
Peter!
Shh, Wendy, not so loud. If Captain Hook hears us, we'll be dead.
Why on earth would you bring me here?
You asked me if the story was true. Now look.
From a distance, Wendy looked at the captain and saw that he had one hand and the other arm had a hook. She now knew Peter's story was true.
Let's go back before they know we're here.
As the days went by, the kids became fond of Wendy. She cooked for them, taught them new games, and also told them bedtime stories that Peter Pan didn't know. Peter liked Wendy, but he was jealous that she was a better storyteller and was getting all the attention.
I hate it when Wendy does this. I am the best storyteller ever in Neverland. This is my home and I am the one everyone must love, not her.
Meanwhile, Captain Hook was waiting for an opportunity to take his revenge. One of his men heard Peter Pan talking about Wendy and told the captain about it.
Ha ha ha. Very well then. Let's see who this Wendy is. Bring her to me.
Wendy wondered why Peter was upset with her. She decided to talk to him about it.
Peter, you seem sad. What's wrong? Do you miss your parents?
Parents? I don't even know who they are, what they mean. Tinkerbell found me when I was lost in the sea.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Everything was fine until you came along. I was everyone's favorite, the best storyteller in Neverland. And now, they just want to hear Wendy stories. Wendy, Wendy, Wendy.
Wendy was hurt by Peter's words. She burst into tears.
I think it's time to say goodbye, Peter. I'll leave you and Neverland and never come back again.
She ran into the forest where Captain Hook's men were waiting for her. They kidnapped her and took her to their captain.
Hello, dear girl.
Captain Hook?
Oh, I see I'm popular. Now, I'm going to finally have Peter Pan on my ship, thanks to you. He will come to save you.
The kids in Neverland looked everywhere for Wendy, but they couldn't find her. They ran to Peter for help.
I don't know where she is, and I don't care. Last I saw, she ran into the forest saying she's going away. I hate her.
The kids went into the forest in search of Wendy, but few of them fell into traps set up by the pirates. They became captives while the others escaped.
Peter, the pirates have captured John, Michael, Snow. We must go now.
Where are they now?
Captain Hook's ship. I know where it is.
Peter came up with a plan on how to rescue the kids. Meanwhile, the captain came onto the deck.
Peter Pan, welcome aboard. Isn't it a beautiful day for revenge?
Hook, this is between you and me. Let Wendy and the kids go, or I will feed you to the crocodiles. This time, you lose more than just your hand.
We'll see about that.
The pirates started to cheer for the fight. Tinkerbell knew this was the right moment. She slowly released all the captured kids. Once they were free, she sprinkled pixie dust on Peter and Wendy.
Catch me now, Captain Hook.
No, you cannot fly away. I've been waiting for so long. Stop!
Captain Hook ran to catch hold of Peter. Peter flew to the edge of the ship and pushed Hook into the sea where the crocodile was waiting for a feast.
Peter, thank you for saving me. I was so scared. I miss my parents. I must go home. Please, come with me. Let's grow old together.
Yes, Peter, come with us.
No, you go now. Your parents will miss you. I came to Neverland so I can never grow old. I belong here.
Peter Pan took Wendy, John, and Michael back to London. Mr. and Mrs. Darling were happy to see their children back home. They heard about everything that happened and decided to adopt all the kids.
Peter, are you sure you don't want to stay?
Yes, I am.
Will you visit us?
Of course. Every day.
Peter flew back to Neverland. He visited Wendy's house whenever he missed her bedtime stories. He would sit on the windowsill and listen. And this way, they all lived happily ever after.
A long, long time ago, there lived a rich merchant in Baghdad. He had a son named Sinbad. Sinbad was very cute, and everyone loved him. When he was a young man, his father died. After his father's death, Sinbad inherited all the wealth. He had no idea how to manage this wealth, so he started spending it as he wished. He spent most of his wealth lavishly on food and wine. The elders in his family advised him to spend the money wisely.
Oh, Uncle, I am not interested in doing any business. You see, I have a lot of money with me. I would like to enjoy my life.
His friends took advantage of him. As days went by, Sinbad's wealth reduced. One fine day, he realized that he had lost all of his wealth. He was worried now. He did not want to live as a poor man. He thought for days on what to do.
I have lost all my money. I think it will be better if I start sailing over the Persian Gulf with some merchandise. I think I can make a lot of money by doing business.
He and his group sailed from one country to another, selling merchandise. Sinbad started to make good profit, and soon he was recognized as a great merchant. Once, while he and his group were sailing through the Persian Gulf, they found a beautiful island.
Wow, this island is so charming. It has a beautiful green color. I think we should get down at the island and spend some time there.
They brought the ship to the shore of the island and got down on the island. They had a lot of fun on the island, and they played around a lot. After some time, they all got hungry. So they decided to cook in the island. They brought some wood from the ship and started to light the fire. As soon as they lit the fire, they felt the earth shaking. There were waves all around. They thought it was an earthquake. The entire island was shaking. None of them could stand up, and they all fell down. There was thundering noise all around.
Run! Run! We are in great danger!
They realized that they were not on any island, really. It was the back of a huge sea monster. All of them were terrified when they realized this. They started running for their lives. Some of them jumped into the sea. Some were able to board the ship, but a few among them were not so fortunate. Before they could climb the ship, the captain left the place hurriedly. There were a few sailors who were still struggling in the sea for their life. Sinbad was one among them. He tried swimming toward the ship. However, the heavy waves pushed him away from the ship. He looked at the ship sailing away to his disappointment. He was tossed around the sea by huge waves. He held on to a piece of wood, and he never lost his hope. He floated in the sea for the whole night. The waves washed him ashore an island. His legs had turned stiff due to the cold sea water. He was unable to walk, so he crawled to the shore. Sinbad was very hungry by now, so he started searching for food. He was so tired and hungry. He had not eaten anything for a long time now. He searched for food in the forest, but he couldn't find any, except for some herbs. Luckily, he found a spring of pure water. He quenched his thirst by drinking the water. Sinbad was really tired by now, so he slept there for some time. After a good sleep, he gained some energy, and he was able to walk now. He slowly started exploring the island. While he was walking, he heard the noise of someone talking. Sinbad was curious. He turned around to see who it was. When he turned back, he found a man standing amidst the bushes. The man slowly walked toward him.
You look very weak and hungry. Here, take some of these fruits. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Sinbad found the man very friendly, so he took the fruits and ate them. The man then started asking Sinbad about his whereabouts. He told him what happened in detail. After a short walk, they reached in front of a cave.
Is this the place where you live? Yes, now come with me.
They both entered the cave. There, Sinbad found a lot of men sitting inside the cave. They were all the workers of the king of the island. The men served him food and wine. Sinbad overheard their conversation about their king. He realized that the man who ruled this island was very generous and kind to people.
Hey, can you help me to meet your king? Of course, we will take you to our king tomorrow.
Sinbad was taken to the king the next morning. His name was Mir Jan. Sinbad introduced himself to the king and told him his story. The king was a noble and kind person. He had sympathy towards Sinbad and offered him a job. Sinbad was appointed as an officer in port. Sinbad was a hard worker, and everyone in the island loved and respected him. One day, when Sinbad was standing at the port, he saw a ship approaching the port.
Huh? That ship! It's my ship!
It was the same ship in which he was traveling before he got stranded. Sinbad could not control his excitement. He went to meet the captain of the ship. When the captain of the ship saw him, he was immensely surprised to find Sinbad alive.
Thank God you are alive, my friend. I'm so sorry for leaving you behind. That's all right, Captain.
The crew was happy to find Sinbad as well. The captain then handed over the goods that belonged to Sinbad. Sinbad was so happy to get his goods back. He wanted to inform the same to his beloved king. He chose a few valuable items from his wealth and ran to the king's palace. He presented those to the king.
Oh, my lord, please accept these. Please allow me to return to my family.
The king agreed and told him that he was happy for him. He gave a lot of gifts to Sinbad as well. He also gave permission to do business in his island until he returned to Baghdad. The ship stayed there for a week. Meanwhile, Sinbad did an excellent business with his goods and made a lot of money.
Thank God. I have made enough money to live a happy life with my family.
At the time of departure, he went to meet the king again. He thanked the king for his kindness and all the favors he received. When it was time for leaving the island, the king himself bid him farewell. Sinbad returned to Baghdad and lived happily for a long time. There are many more adventures of Sinbad, and I will tell you those later.